and the technologies. Technologies is part of the knowledge system. So we had to bridge that gap. In last 79 has been achieved in every direction. Our ISRO, DAE is doing well. And now we are in the third industrial revolution, which I call as not industrial but technological revolution, which involves IT, digitization, ITES, cyber, space, atomic energy, as well as artificial intelligence, robotics, humanoids, and so many other applications. So we are not laggards anymore. And that is why I had to mention the young people who are sitting here, who will be graduates and postgraduates soon in various professions, in various domains. You will become experts. You are going to play that role to take India, Indian society, its people forward, including the world forward, because the Indian diaspora is extremely successful. So you are going to be part of that as well. So you have very high responsibility on your shoulders to not only be good citizens, do well professionally, with discipline, dedication, and involvement, that you will take the country forward in all these fields. You have the enterprise, entrepreneurship, and the help that is required to gain knowledge, not only from our own system, but also from abroad, and will soon catch up with the rest of the world. The huge gap that exists even now in terms of advanced technologies has to be bridged. The Americans and Western Europeans are still ahead of us in many, many areas. So are the Chinese or the Japanese. We are doing well, but not well enough. So we have to bridge this gap very quickly, and that is where you all are going to play a very important role. Many, many technologies we have been denied, but we have developed ourselves. The fighter aircraft that India produces now, Tejas, LCA, most of the technologies are Indian. Our DRDO laboratories, Defense Research Development Organization, has created them at par with the rest. We have developed technologies for missiles, sensor heads, and so many other things that we are leapfrogging ahead. And very soon we should be able to produce the metallurgy that can withstand very high temperatures and pressures and create a jet engine which could propel or which could be used as a propulsion system of a jet aircraft, fighter aircraft, ships, etc. So we are doing quite well to my mind. The gap that has to be bridged has to be done by you all, and that's what I brought about this historical perspective in front of you so that you could realize what role you are going to play and you are not lagging anymore. If there is time, maybe if you have 5 minutes, then I can talk to you about Operation Sindoor. I know most of you will be very keen to know what happened. The 4-day skirmish that took place in the month of May, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th of May, in the subcontinent. You see, Operation Sindoor has, as you all know, was against the terrorist organizations operating from across the borders from Pakistan. And these are state-sponsored terrorists who have been recruited, funded, given weapons, trained, indoctrinated to come to India and disturb the peace. And that's what happened in Pahalgam. Parliament attack. Then, 26/11 Mumbai attack, where a lot of people lost their lives. And so many attacks have taken place by these state-sponsored terrorists operating from across the border. Pakistan Army, Pakistan State, the government, and the inter-services intelligence agencies are the pioneers in organizing these terrorists to act against India. So, in the previous such attacks, which are very devastating, including the attack on the Parliament and Mumbai, where more more than I think 160 odd people died. India did not respond adequately. India did not respond militarily. But after Uri attack by the terrorists sponsored from across the border, the Indian government decided to give it back to them. The army was given the task of destroying the terrorist camps across the LC, line of control, near the Pak-occupied Kashmir. Very successful. Their infrastructure was destroyed. But that was a very small operation. But it was a lesson to be driven home for our adversary across the borders. The next attack that took place in Pulwama, a large number of CRPF, security jawans, were killed by the agencies of this terrorist with the help of IED. The response in terms of camps was upgraded. The government decided to use the Indian Air Force to attack across the international border, that is beyond POK, where these camps are there for JEM, LAT, etc. Jaish-e-Mohammed and Lashkar-e-Taiba used very capable fighter aircraft like Mirage 2000, etc. to attack these targets very, very accurately, with pinpoint accuracy. It was so successful that almost all the terrorists who were there, the count is about 300, it is based on the intercepts of communication, intercepts of signals that is generated through our mobile phones. The mobile phone that you are using is giving away your position all the time. So our intelligence agencies, through the intercepts of communication and signal and other communication means, they said there are more than 300 people in this camp. And obviously, the attack was so successful, they were eliminated. Now this Pahalgam happened. 26 innocent lives were lost. Indian government had to react. And this time, the government had decided that we will respond in such a fashion that all this terrorist infrastructure deep inside Pakistan, Punjab, will be attacked with great accuracy, pinpoint accuracy, and will destroy the infrastructure. And that's what happened during the 7th, 8th of May, basically 7th of May. So India had developed capabilities and capacities to attack targets at large stand-up ranges about 100 to 200 kilometers away, deep into adversaries' territory. And these camps in Muridki as well as Bawalpur were deep inside built-up area, townships. And the worst is, they are very cunning. They designed these camps in such a manner that all around the core area where they are training the terrorists, etc., they had built hostels for women, schools and madrasas, religious places for worship, and so many other things. So it will be very difficult to attack these targets very accurately without collateral damage. So if there is collateral damage, Pakistan would have a weapon to show to the world that this is what the Indian Armed Forces has done, kill innocent people in the name of taking terrorists out. But India had developed the capability with all the fighter aircraft, be it the Rafale, be it the Mirage 2000, Jaguars, MiG-29, as also Sukhoi 30s. And the acquisition of S-400 long-range surface-to-air missiles, which could take on the targets at a far-off distance of 400 kilometers. We had built up our air defense networks so extensively with weapon systems mostly indigenous, their response or attacks in reply to ours. So these targets, for destroying these targets, the Rafale aircraft was used, which has various types of long-range stand-up weapons up to about 300 to 400 kilometers. The Scalp, cruise missile, the Rampage missile with about 80 kilometers range, stand-off range, with Spice 2000 bombs which he acquired from the Israelis, and of course, our own indigenous BrahMos missile, supersonic missile, which can be loaded on the Sukhoi 30, modified by Indian scientists, Indian Research and Development Organization and HAL. The attack took place. We had a lot of intelligence about the target systems, and we knew exactly where the infrastructure is without collateral attack. Retorted and attacked our air defense systems, the military targets. We had decided not to touch the military targets or civilian targets. But they had no targets but military targets and civilian targets to take on. We have no terrorist camps in our. So when that happened, they had been armed by China, by Turkey, and indirectly by the US. So this, these three countries have been working against India for many, many years. And now India has to face a very serious challenge in meeting these, destroying them. So when they attacked, our air defense system was very good, and they could neutralize all those drones, missiles, ballistic missiles, and aircraft launching weapons. Nothing was damaged or destroyed in India. But as a response to this, the government cleared the Indian Air Force, gave them a free hand to attack all their military targets, especially Air Force, Pakistan Air Force targets. So the next day, for about 24 hours, large number of air bases were attacked by the Indian Air Force. The Sukhoi 30 used the BrahMos missile. It is the initial velocity of about 1,000 kilometers per hour at a height of 40,000 feet. It could go up to 450, 500 kilometers and attack a target very accurately. So all their hangars, air bases, runways, communication centers, aircraft on the ground were attacked and destroyed within just about 24 hours. The Pakistani forces realized the seriousness, and they had lost a lot of aircraft on ground and in the air to S-400 missiles at a distance of 300 kilometers. So they capitulated and sought for a ceasefire. India had no intention to escalate any further, a stoppage of this offensive. So that is how Operation Sindoor has gained prominence, shown that terrorists operating from your land, sponsored by the state itself, the state will be considered as our adversary and will attack you. So the Indian armed forces and intelligence agencies are very clear in their mind as to the policy that Indian government will follow to tackle such terrorism which is sponsored by the state across the borders. So that is all about Operation Sindoor, and if there is time, I can speak to you on many other issues. Thank you once again, Amity University authorities, for inviting me for this seminar, which is going to be day-long, Indian knowledge system. I hope I've been able to put across certain issues, and you will have many, many experts with domain knowledge in this seminar who will give you a lot of information and clear all your doubts. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for an enlightening address. It is a profound honor to introduce Dr. Swarup Prasad Ghosh, a distinguished writer and academician. Dr. Ghosh has served as a registrar, Dean of Academics and Controller of Examination at various reputed academic institutions. He is currently the Director of Maulana Abul Kalam Azad Institute of Asian Studies, Kolkata. His doctoral and postdoctoral research, published by reputed publishers, centers on Swami Vivekananda's thoughts on religion, caste, economics, international relations, and ethics. He has also been associated with the Ramakrishna Mission for a long time and has written extensively in newspapers and journals. We are truly privileged to have him with us today, and today with great respect we now humbly invite Dr. Swarup Prasad Ghosh to kindly address the gathering.
On behalf of Ministry of Culture, Government of India, on behalf of the Honorable Governor of West Bengal, Dr. C.V. Ananda Bose, who is the President of our institution, on behalf of Professor Radharaman Chakraborty, the Chairman of the Executive Council of our institution, I welcome each and all of you. I'm extremely grateful to your Vice Chancellor, Registrar, faculty members of the Department of Law, students, particularly of the Department of Law, and coming from other departments of Mati University for working hand in gloves with us to make this seminar a great seminar. I'm thankful to my friend, Sri Arup Rahaji. I went to his residence to felicitate him on behalf of Government of India on the independence occasion. His contribution to armed forces will be remembered by next generation with deep regard. Now, when we talk of Indian knowledge system, that after more than 75 years of our independence, we Indians come to tell Indians, rather fellow Indians, that there is an Indian knowledge system. That's the greatest tragedy of this nation. How many of you have heard about this Indian knowledge system before NEP 2020 came into existence? Raise your hand. Part of Indian knowledge system before NEP 2020 came into existence, I repeat. See, 90% of the students were uninformed about Indian knowledge system before NEP 2020, which came into existence in West Bengal, the state in which we live, 2024. And this is a knowledge system which comes down to us from time immemorial. And we are introducing it practically after 79 years of our independence. A tragedy should be written. Professors from Calcutta University, Jadavpur University, ISI, IIT will be coming in the panels to subject. Today you have a curriculum. Now Ramakrishna Mission started it as Indian culture and heritage years before, when I was a student of Narendrapur Ramakrishna Mission. Ramakrishna Mission started it long before, because Vivekananda saw it years ago. What Ramakrishna Mission started when we were students, the nation is starting when you are student. In between, 2 generations have passed. Now we will be celebrating Durga Puja few days after. Practically after Rath Yatra and Janmashtami, the process starts, which in Bengali we say Khuti Puja. And 19 of us sitting here, Durga Puja means new shirts, going to pandals, falling in love, more or less. But what Durga Puja means when you connect it with Indian knowledge system. Ma Durga is the expression of Brahma Gun as is expressed in Gita. What is Brahma Gun? The Shvatik Gun in you, the goodness in you. And why it is manifested through mother? In the world, mother is the only example of all goodness. There cannot be anyone second to mother, right? Rather any substitute to mother. Then you have the lion, expression of Rajagun, king of forest, Rajagun. And you have the demon king, Tamagun, with the help of Rajagun, killing Tamagun. In each and all of us, these three gunas are present. And the prayer is, let the Brahma-gun in me remain active throughout the year, Divine Mother. Let the Raja in me be guided by Brahma. That's my arts to earn more, my arts to name and fame, my arts to be great and noble. This urge should be guided by Brahma. Then the urge remains in the right line. And the tama, jealousy, should be evaporated, eliminated. So it is an elevation, a gradual movement, which Sri Aurobindo rightly says, from apparent self to real self. How many of you have read the stotra Rishi Aurobindo wrote on Mother, Ma Durga? Great expressions. What I am saying is just bubbles what Maharshi Aurobindo wrote. But Aurobindo is absent from our philosophy classes. Vivekananda is absent in our textbook. Physics department is there, Conrad is absent. Economics department is there, Aryabhatta is absent. Mathematics department is there, Brahmagupta is absent. And we are making an Indian curriculum and thinking that we are an independent nation, thinking independently and talk about decolonializing the mind. The entire curriculum is packed with Europeanization. The entire curriculum teaches you how to be a good European in thought, in words, and in dress. We are all brown sahibs sitting here and trying to be brown sahibs, though the sahibs have left long before. The sahib is residing in us. And if you want to take Brahmagupta to the classroom, it is not that the Britishers are opposing it. Indians amongst us are opposing it. If you want to take Sri Aurobindo and Swami Vivekananda in the classroom, in the Department of Philosophy, Indians will be opposing it. That's the greatest tragedy. Because there is an ecosystem which runs the world. And the ecosystem creates this structure. My friend Raha Saab was saying that India was a rich country. Surely she was a rich country. Till 12th century she was the richest nation on earth. Have you seen that dacoits come to the house of the poor? India was rich, that's why looters came, dacoits came from abroad. We were turned poor, we were never poor. $45 trillion have been looted out of us. trying to be a 5 trillion economy and $45 trillion have been looted. Have you heard Swami Sarvapriyanandaji? How many of you have heard the YouTube of Swami Sarvapriyanandaji? Thanks. At least there are people who hear Swami Sarvapriyanandaji. 10, 20 hands are coming up. Hear him regularly. When he was in Hollywood, he found that Indian students who went to America to study were campaigning against India because of this education system. He confronted them and said that, do you find a nation on earth where everything is right and nothing wrong? Everyone kept silent. Do you find any other nation speaking against their nation in this campus? Silent. Only Indians are speaking against India. The greatness. Because we are taught that white certificates are needed. White certificates are needed. And what the whites will say, right, I have to be certified by the white. And if I am certified by the white, I am in a higher pedestal in my own nation. These Indians go abroad, say a lot of criticism against casteism when they are, Manu is a casteist, Manu is a racist. They will say all these things. 99% of Indians going abroad will marry white women. Right? They will never marry Africans. Have you seen 99% of Indians going abroad and marry Africans? I have not seen. But they will speak loudly about caste system when they are in India. Racism attached to casteism in India, knowing not even ABC about caste system. What our Gita says, Chatur Varna Maya Srishtam Guna Karma Vibhajanam. What that means? These 4 divisions are division of labor, not on the basis of birth, not on the basis of indigenous kinship groups. It's on the basis of birth. We have turned it to be so. Our scriptures doesn't say so. Our scriptures say it is on the basis of work. Maya Srishtam Gun Karma Vibhajanam. And the entire Indian community is kept away from Sanskrit. That's the language of the priest, the language of the puja. And the entire repository of Indian knowledge system is dumped in Sanskrit. Deposited there. All other is secondary sources. People write ancient Indian books or ancient Indian history without knowing a line of Sanskrit. Yesteryears it was compulsory that you should know Sanskrit if you want to write on India, ancient India, but it was raised off only to derail it. So we have been doing immense this service to our own country the way we are being taught. When I came here, sat on the dais, we were greeted with Saraswati mantra. We all have seen during Saraswati Puja we chant Bhavati Shutre Shayan Prate Drahavama Buddhe Janatam Mate Prashartu Kabbe Shastre Buddhi Bhavatu Juvache Vacham Siddhi Kuntatu Kuntadaya Maite Vidhara Pujje Madhavadaite Jaya Jaya Devi Charachara Share Kuchajugo Shobhita Mukta Hare Veena Ranjita Pustakaste Bhagavati Bharati Devi Namaste. How many we understand it? How many of us? What it says? Why Ma Saraswati is white? Because when I enter the knowledge world, I should be neutral. Chaitanya and consciousness is expressed to white color. Shiva is white, consciousness. Mother is white, Chaitanya and awareness. And why mother? Mother is the first teacher of each and all of us. Even father comes after mother. If father and mother is standing together, the Shastras say first mother, because he is your father, because this person is your father. Otherwise you don't know who is your father. So mother comes first. That's why Matrimurti. Why? Swan, duck. Swan, you say Rajhamsa. Because if you give, as in Kathamrita Sri Ramakrishna rightly says, that if you give water and milk together to swan, what happens? The swan takes the milk and leaves the water. When I enter the knowledge world, there is truth and false clubbed together. Oh, mother, give me the strength to know the truth and leave the false. And in two sides she have Veena and Vidya. If you have knowledge, you express it how? Either through Swar or through Sur. So there is a philosophy indebted. And the slokas depict the philosophy. Neither the Indians know the philosophy nor the slokas. They know the ritual. And those who are just knowing the ritual analyze our religion, the tragedy of the country. What the person has seen his mother doing, his household customs, thinks that's the Indian tradition. Without knowing ABC about the philosophy hidden in the deity and the chanting mantra which we chant during offerings. There lies the tragedy of this nation when we work. The Shastras say, the Indian knowledge system say, Ramayana and Mahabharata are itihasa. And what the Europeans taught, it's mythology. And what majority of persons taught in Anglicized culture thinks it's mythology. I was also educated in St. Xavier's after Ramakrishna Mission. It's mythology. But our Shastras say itihasa, the way of narrating itihasa by the Europeans, the way of narrating itihasa by the Indians is different. We have to look towards India from Indian glasses, not from European glasses. And the greatest tragedy is that we have looked towards India from European glasses. And I thank the government that it has started that Indians should start looking towards India from Indian glasses. And in coming days, those Indians will be taken for the march of Atmanirbhar Bharat. We need those Indians who will look to India from Indian glasses. Thanks to those Indians who look to India from European glasses. Let them go to their European masters. We don't mind. This is no more that India to knee down before the European world. This is a new normal, new India, Swabhimani Bharat, Atmanirbhar Bharat. And why Ramayana is itihasa? Ram is the expression of Jog. Lakshman is the expression of Bhakti Jog. Bharat is the expression of Karma Yoga. Satrughna is the expression of Raj Yoga. And the Gita speaks of Chatur Yoga. What is Gyan Yoga and Bhakti Yoga? If you have two houses, one is the house of Jivatma and the other is the house of Paramatma. You go from Jivatma to Paramatma. There are two ways. You walk through the partition walls in the film. In Bengali we call Al. That's Gyan Yoga. You have to have a guru because there you want to know the truth through debate. Then you need a guru. Teachers' Day and Guru Divas is not same. For years together I find in 5th September, it's coming, students chant on Teachers' Day, Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Deva, Maheshwara, knowing nothing that Guru and teacher are not the same terminology in Sanskrit. Shikshak is a different term, Guru is a different term. Gu is darkness, Ru is light. A person who takes me out of this darkness of life and death to the light of immortality. Asato ma sadgamayo tamasho ma yotirgamayo mritor mamritam. That person is Guru. Like the President Maharaj of Ramakrishna Mission, the President Maharaj of Bharat Sevashram, that's the Guru. Shikshak who is giving you knowledge of secular world to earn something, livelihood. That's a different. So 5th September is Shikshak Diva. We have an ancient Guru Divas, Vasha Divas. Both are not the same. So when you work through debate from Jivatma to Paramatma, that is Gyan Yoga. You need a guru. Like Sri Ramakrishna taught Swami Vivekananda how to walk in Gyan Yoga. And Bhakti is something, there is a rain. All these debates are under water. And you take a boat from Jivatma and reach Paramatma. That is Bhakti. Lakshman is Bhakti. Rama is Jnana. Bharata is Karma. Because he worked, ruled. Rama never ruled. For 14 years, who ruled? Bharata ruled. But the credit went to Rama. We say Rama Rajya. Because he never took the credit. He never lived in palaces. He lived in Nandigram, far away from palace. He did his karma without expecting anything. That is self-abnegation, Swami Vivekananda says. This self-abnegation is karma yoga. Doing something sincerely with expectation is not karma yoga. That is sat karma. Karma yoga is doing something without expectation. The valedictory address will be given by Swami Vedatitananda ji of Ramakrishna Mission. I think he will elaborate on this. And Satrughna is Raj Yoga. Why? Because Satrughna is the person who made the teamwork go. So our form of history teaching is that there should be a philosophy, because kings came and kings went, because we never got this concept of I. From I to we, from we to thee. Vedas were written by whom? Nobody wrote his name. They wrote their experiences and went off. They were not servants of name and fame. That's why when we wrote history, that was rasa. Itihasa, That was not history. The Europeans mean history and itihas is not synonym. Philosophy and darshana is not synonym. Religion and dharma is not synonym. We are taught in opening the Oxford Dictionary, history is itihas, darshan is philosophy, dharma is religion. Total. Something you go to a Sanskrit scholar and say that is this synonym? He will tell you in details. I don't have time. I went to Govinda Gopal Mukherjee Mahapadhyay of Ramakrishna Mission and told, sir, is these are synonyms? He told, lesser known people say so. So, if we don't know the depthness of these Sanskrit rooted words and try to find out English synonyms out of it, we'll land up in a mess. In the same way, Mahabharata. Mahabharata was another set of teaching. When you stand up in front of a person who is there to give you everything, and the choice is between materialism and spirituality, which way you go? Arjun is also karma yoga. Has Arjun wanted kingdom? No. Wanted to win the war? No. When Krishna told on one side I will be standing, on the other side my Narayana Sena will be fighting with arms, Durjanana was thinking from within that it should be the Narayani Sena. Arjun will be asking for Narayani Sena and I will take this man who is saying that I will stay in the battlefield and will not work, not participate in the war, not pick up weapons. But Arjun did the opposite. He told, I want you. I came to Narayan. I am least bothered about Narayani Sena. That's the fight of spirituality and materialism. Your logic will say Narayani Sena. Your heart will say Narayan. Swami Vivekananda says 3 H's there. Head, heart and hand. And when head and heart speaks 2 different voices, Vivekananda clearly says follow your heart. The hand executes. So, we have to think what is the guiding force of India for years together. What had been the guiding force of India? Those who are in between 25. That's the period of Brahmacharya ashram. Now you have Brahmacharya, Garastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyas, all is touched with ashrama, and you have Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Brahmacharya is stacked with Dharma, because within 25 years you have to learn the rules, the moral rules. After independence, 80 years have passed. We would have turned into a developed nation by now. We know Britishers looted. We know the invaders looted. Why after independence Indians looted their own mother? And that's not something, a very meager amount. Huge amount of money has been taken out of India by Indians looting India after independence. This is the clause that you have full-fledged materialism irrespective of spirituality in your training system. We teach you have to be an engineer, a lawyer, a professor. We don't teach, as Swamiji told, that spirituality teaches an engineer to be a better engineer. a doctor to be a better doctor, a lawyer to be a better lawyer, because he will know the art of karma yoga. We are not taught. And that's why we have created giants out of education. We have looted Mother India mercilessly and thinks India is an opportunity. Britishers doesn't teach a line how they colonialized and looted the world for 300 years to their students. Go to their history books, see, have they written a line? No. Pakistan history books doesn't teach a line of ancient India. It was part of ancient India. But we are taught that you go and don't read ancient history. The most neglected section of our history department is ancient history. Most discouraged, practically no faculty, lack of specialized teachers, and ancient Indian history has gone to sleep. I do remember the words of the legendary historians like Ramesh Chandra Majumdar, Jadunath Sarkar, Nilkanta Shastri, Akhaldar Banerjee. So, this Brahmacharya ashram is tagged with dharma. Garastha ashram with artha. Garastha is your household life. Banaprastha is a transition, 50 to 75. Now here also people, after retirement, go and search for post-retirement jobs. সংসারের মধ্যেই সংসারের শেষ যে দেখতে চায় তার ক্ষেত্রে সংসারটাই অশেষ হয়ে যায়। রবীন্দ্রনাথের সেই লাইনের মতো জড়ায় আছে বাঁধা, ছাড়ায় যেতে চাই, ছাড়াতে গেলে ব্যথা বাজে। মুক্তি চাহিবারে তোমার কাছে যাই, চাহিতে গেলে মরিরা আছে। জানিয়ে তুমি মম জীবনে শ্রেয়তম এমন ধন আর নাই যে তোমার সম, তবু যা ভাঙা চূড়া ঘরেতে আছে পোড়া, ফেলিয়া দিতে পারি না আজ। 50 up, it's a time to leave materialism gradually and go for spirituality. And after 75, it's fine. Enough is enough. Sannyas ashram is moksha. So, dharma, artha, kama, moksha, brahmacharya, garastha, banaprastha, sannyas is tagged. And if you do what is told, this depression will go. Depression is there because your expectation continues till the deathbed. I have to be like 16-year-old even when I am 66. I must look like 16-year-old even when I am 66. There will be depression in that person. Nobody can help. So you have to bind this. Leave the garment when it ends after 25 years. If you want that my school life and college life was what great and good, that will not stay for the entire life period. And if you want to pull it long, depression will come. If you want to sit for a marriage after 50 years and think it will be as glorious as 25, it will not be. So you have to know the art of leaving something when the time ends. And Indian practice teaches you that. Now I end because there are speakers who will elaborate on the subject in their discourse with a note that Amity University has started this journey. I'm grateful. Government of India is supporting all these seminars throughout the nation. It's excellent. And from Maulana Abul Kalam Azad Institute of Asian Studies, which is a body under the Ministry of Culture, Government of India, we are supporting these seminars, which are more or less making the students aware of the Indian knowledge system, the richness of Indian knowledge system. I was in IIT Kharagpur, in NIT Calicut. So, this journey starts today, and you have to take it as a mission to proceed from here. Then only the success of the seminar reaches its desired destination. Otherwise, all these efforts remains a superficial one. If the greatness of Mother India cannot words, I conclude my deliberation with a line from Rishi Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay, which is there in Vande Mataram. Tam hi Durga Dasha Praharanadharini Tam hi Prana Shariri, as he told in the concluding lines of the national song Vande Mataram. Thank you.
We sincerely thank you, sir, for your valuable insights. Your address was not only inspiring but also eye-opening. With this, we come to the conclusion of our inaugural ceremony. We will now start with our speaker series. Before we do that, I would like to put forward a note to all the participants present here. It has come to our notice that there are participants who have taken the folders without registering properly. So if you want the participation certificate, you have to go to the registration desk, re-register properly, and then come back. Post this, we will resume with the speaker sessions. Thank you. Thank you.
Chirag.
Participants, please remain here who have the certificates and the folders. The persons who have not registered with the certificates, kindly re-register post the speakers. You can do that during lunch, not now. Please remain seated. We request all the participants to please remain seated at this point of time. Hello?
Thank you. We will start with the next session within 2 minutes. So please don't go away out of the auditorium. We'll start with the next session within 2-3 minutes. Please be seated inside the auditorium.
It would be highly appreciated if you would maintain the decorum of the hall while we start the speaker session. Thank you.
Good afternoon, audience. It's a humble request to please settle down to make space for our speakers to take the dais.
It's a very humble request to settle down as we would be beginning with the speaker session very shortly.
Please take your seat, please.
A very good afternoon to one and all present here. With this, we start with the speaker session. It is our profound honor to now welcome our first speaker for the day, Professor Dr. Amurtha Kumar Dotto, a distinguished professor of mathematics at the Indian Statistical Institute, Kolkata. Professor Dotto obtained his PhD in mathematics under Professor S.M. Bhatwadekar at the Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, Mumbai in 1994, and has several research publications in commutative algebra and affine algebraic geometry. A recipient of the INSA Teachers Award, he has taught, mentored and guided several students since joining ISI Kolkata as a faculty member in 1996. Notably, his former PhD student Neena Gupta was awarded the Infosys Prize this year and delivered the prestigious Emmy Noether Lecture. For the past 25 years, Professor Dotto has also been delivering lectures and writing articles on the history of science, especially on ancient Indian mathematics. He is the recipient of the first Satish C. Bhatnagar Award in the history of mathematics from the Indian Mathematical Society. Professor Dotto has been teaching the history of mathematics in ancient India and science in modern India in the one-year Indology course at the Ramakrishna Mission Institute of Culture, Kolkata since January 2022. He has been writing serially on mathematics in India in the mathematics magazine, Bhavana. May I now request our distinguished professor, Dr. Pankaj Kumar, to felicitate Professor Dotto. Please take the dais. Thank you. May we please have a round of applause, sir?
We welcome Professor Dr. Pankaj Kumar and Dr. Amurtha Kumar Datta. Professor Dr. Amurtha Kumar Datta, and please put your hands together for both of them once again.
Thank you, sir. Professor Dotto will now be delivering his lecture on modernity of Brahmagupta's Bhavna. Sir, we are honored to have you with us, and I now invite you to share your insights with the gathering.
ঠিক আছে দেখ অ্যাঙ্গেল দেখ ঠিক আছে ঠিক আছে বুঝতে পারছি ঠিক আছে গুগল মিটারে ক্লিয়ার হচ্ছে আমি বলি এখানে বলি হঠাৎ পড়াস না জানাবো ওই দিক থেকে বেরাবে এখানে ঢুকাবি না ঠিক আছে ওটা ওখানে
I would like to point out something. When I came here, the hall was full. And this is an IKS program. By the time I'm trying to communicate, there is something serious to be communicated about IKS, something, then it is more or less half empty. And for that, people for the last 75 years, or British or the Muslims, I mean the Islamic invaders, they are not responsible. So this is something on which an introspection has to be done. How serious are we about IKS? I mean, is it only for, a kind of a show, or showing that we are doing something for IKS and some kind of festival? So this is something to be thought about. And most of those who went out are students. I was supposed to start at certain time, of course, but this is now 12:45. Now,